How to add a custom shape as a vector mask for a layer in Photoshop. I'm using Photoshop 221. So see here, it's got a vector mask and a custom shape. And you can see over here in the layers, you can see the mask there. So window and layers, so you can see that. Now, just going to go back to completely there. You can see here, this layer's got transparency. It's got no background padlock as well. So if I just go over to another document, go there, you can see you'll have that. However, it doesn't make any difference because as soon as you go to a layer and a vector mask, you can do exactly the same, reveal all, and that will still turn it into a thing where you can change the vector mask, change the layer using a vector mask. So I'm just going to go back now to this one here. Well, I've just shown, get a vector mask into the thing, just go over here to the layer with the layer selected, simply go to a layer and vector mask and reveal all. As soon as you do that, you'll see straight away you get this vector mask. If you hover over there, you can just see vector mask thumbnail, it says. So what you can do now, you can go and of course add a vector mask. And I'm using a custom shape. So just go to the custom shape tool and I'm selecting there the custom, maybe in a different position, depends on your customization of Photoshop, you might have a different location. Also, go up here and you can select a shape. I'm just going to go with one of my custom shapes. But of course, you will have a different set of custom shapes. And also, the key thing here for this whole thing is just go over to the corner here, the left-hand corner, and select Path. No use with shape, no use with the pixels. Path is the thing you want. So Path selected. Now, just go over here with the path, and you've got that selected there, custom shape, and just simply drag down there, and there you have it. Very simple. A vector mask there has been added with that custom shape. Now you can modify this custom shape, this design. So you can just use, maybe go over here to the various pen tools. Again, they may be in a different position. So Curvature Pen Tool, I always like Curvature Pen Tool. And you can add points, move points, change it. And as you change it, you can see you get more, obviously, and you can see it change there as well, more or less of the design. So you can just like do that. Now you can select there, or you can just go to the there as well. But I'm just going to be working with this because what I want to do, I just want to go to layer and a layer style and maybe drop shadow. So you can add a drop shadow to that design and maybe go for a stroke as well. So you can just see the stroke, you've got an edge around your shape there. And again, you can still continue to modify this design. So just go over there. And if you can't see the points, simply go to the direct selection tool. And you can see then all the points there. And you can modify those points. You can tweak it to your heart's content to change the design. If you can't see the points, like I say, again, always use the direct selection. Or of course, then you can go to the curvature tool and you can modify it. So sometimes what happens is you can't see the points. So I would just go to the direct selection tool. I'm certain there's other ways of doing it, but that's the approach I've always used. And then you can, of course, modify this design. Again, I say, add additional points to your path. So you've got that. And what you can do, go back to the there, select that, and then you can duplicate it or resize it. So you can just resize it. And again, hold down the Alt or Option key and duplicate that. And then you can fill the design like that. So very quick and easy using vector masks. Now I'm just going to go back to this other document I've just got. This is obviously this is a document I've created, but it could be simply a document I've opened. And again, what I can do to add a vector mask, simply go to a layer, go down to vector mask, makes sense, vector mask. Of course, you could use a layer mask as well. Quite often I do that. I go to layer mask, I think, oops, I meant vector mask, reveal all. And again, you do exactly the same as before. Simply go down to the custom shape tool, and there's the custom shape tool. And again, well, this time maybe use a different one. Don't have to use that one. Of course, you will have different custom shapes, and you can just use that one there, say. And then again, make certain it's path. As long as it's path, you can add that. And then you've got your design there. Now, of course, what you can do, you can add additional ones as well. You don't have to just add one, so you can apply multiple, and again you can see you got the design there. So you can create some very abstract designs simply, and of course that means your custom shape, obviously you've got your custom shape, has now got a lovely fill to it. So it's a very quick and easy way to create colourful custom shapes as well. And again, once you've done that, simply deselect that, maybe select that, and then go to Layer, Layer Style, and Bevel Emboss. And you can just add a bevel emboss, drop shadow, and maybe go for a colour overlay. You can get rid of that if you want, or gradient overlay. Maybe use different blending modes, lighten, or difference, so you can see the design, and so on and so on. Literally hundreds of different things. And of course, once you've got that design, what you can do, then you can modify it. So you can just resize it, rotate it, and again duplicate it if you want to do that. Or what you can do, you can also just go to a layer and turn it into a smart object, convert it into a smart object. So you've got your smart object design there. So that's a simple way of doing that. Of course, now, once it's a smart object, what you can do, you can, of course, always go to Layer, and again, you've got Layer Mask option, perfectly reasonable. You've also got Vector Mask. You can say Reveal All. Again, you've got your Vector Mask there. Go over to the Custom Shapes, and I'm just going to select Custom Shape Tool, and then go down and maybe select that one. Just select a different one than the one you created, and then, again, always make certain it's path. That's the key thing, path there. And then you can draw that over there, and you can see then you've got a vector mask with your smart object. And again, what you can do, you can always go to Layer and Layer Style, Drop Shadow. You can see you've got the drop shadow there. Bevel and Emboss. Again, you've got Bevel and Emboss. Maybe Stroke. And again, you might have different settings here because it depends on how it's all set up. Won't be exactly the same as mine. And you can then change the size of the stroke. And also, of course, what you can do, because it's a smart object, you can always go to Filters. You can go to, and some might not be available. You can see there, Lens Blur, for some weird reason, isn't available. But you can say Gaussian Blur, and you can blur it. And you can see here, the contents there are being blurred. So you can create some very interesting designs there. And of course, what you can do, if you want to do that, again, you can always hold it down, hold down the, and press return there, so you can hold down the Alt or Option key and drag and duplicate that. So you can create some very abstract designs simply by using this approach, using Vector Mask. And because they're smart objects, you can always double click on the smart object and go and edit them again. So if you want to change something, you can change it all the way through. And again, you've got that. And again, you could, if you want, you could select the whole lot and turn that all into a smart object. And then repeat, of course, the Vector Mask using custom shapes. So custom shapes, you can literally create thousands of different unique designs, which of course can then be used maybe defined as a pattern, brush strokes, and many, many more ways of using them. I hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to Graphicxtras channel, always adding tutorials about Photoshop, obviously Photoshop 221. Obviously not so many times earlier ones now. I haven't got them. So Illustrator, Affinity Photo, and many, many others. Also, please add some questions, some comments. Always nice to hear what sort of things would you like to see. I'm always happy to do different tutorials, of course. Also, a dislike or like. Thank you much.